Thanking the Lord for another blessed and wonderful day. I want to give a great shout out to the YouTube fam from Papa JT down to baby brother Justice. We love you. There is nothing you can do about it. The good men, the good men. And y'all know I always like to do videos on the good side and the bad side. Then seem like the truth lies somewhere in the middle. And when I went to the wake last night, I was so touched by the wake, man. I haven't been to a wake like that in years where it was so packed. The wake looked like it was bigger than it's gonna be bigger than the funeral this morning because I haven't seen a turnout like this at a wake in so long. But it made me think about being a man and how when you leave, can somebody follow your example? Can somebody follow your example? And it was kind of sad at the funeral, but at the wake, but also it was a good thing because like I told him when I stood up and had my little words, I said that man lived his life. You didn't have to really talk about Chief because Chief lived his life. And I don't know why I find myself more and more wherever I go, how many funerals I go to, don't matter how big the crowd is, I can't sit down and not say nothing at all about somebody that I know. And I listen at everybody, I was looking at a few people crying and I said we always want to wait on funerals to say that we need to look toward the hills from where our help comes from, and our help comes from the Lord. I told the family in the church, I said that's not just applying at funerals. We need to look to the hills each and every day that we wake up because our strength, our help only comes from the Lord. And I said it wasn't a sad day to me, because that man was fighting with cancer, but he fought long and hard. And I listened at this brother that came up before me. He said, I didn't expect this to happen to him. I wasn't even ready for that. And I said, that's the way death is. You should always be ready and living your life right. You want to be blessed right, you need to live right. And the brother said, I didn't see it coming. I said, death comes out of nowhere. And it don't matter what your age is. And as I was looking at Chief Mother on the front row crying, and I said, I know that it's tough for a mother to bury her son. And the preacher was saying that he hate to see stuff like this because he's about 70, 71 years old. And he said to bury somebody at Chief's age, you would think the young would outlive the old, but it don't work like that all the time. That's why I say death has no age on it. But as I stood up, looked at his mom and she was crying, and I'm a great friend of the family. And the thing that touched me the most is that one thing I like to see in wakes and funerals also is people from all colors. White, Hispanic, Asian, it don't matter. That let me know also that man reached many lives because Chief was good in all sports. He played on softball teams. He was a Michael Jordan on the court. Oh, man. Football, he was one of the best quarterbacks. He was just a great athlete. He was a great man. And the thing that touched me the most, I'm finna get the one I'm finna get right quick. This is why I say it's still some good men out here. Chief's son got up in tears. And I didn't think he was going to get up and speak at his dad's wake or funeral. And he said, a lot of y'all don't know this, but that's not my real father. And he said, but that is the only man I know, the only daddy that I know. And he said, I don't care what nobody say, that's going to forever be my daddy. He said he took me in as a little bitty boy and raised me to a grown man. And he left the example of how to live. And to me, that touched my heart because there ain't too many men that would do that. To stop a young brother from growing up, being in a penitentiary or selling dope and doing things he ain't got no business. Chief trained him up. He said, that's the only man I know is my daddy. So to the fathers out here, I had a question about this in my email. Who's taking care of another man's child, love that child like it's your own. Because you know why I love this? I know his son. I grew up with his son. And his son is not locked up. He's all right. He's all right. And Chief pretty much gave his life to show him. I'm not saying he gave his life as he died, but he showed the example through his life how to be as a man. And I wish we could get more people like that because the average young black little brother is growing up on the streets. And as he shared his tear and sung his song for his daddy, that just knocked another tear out of my eye. That's why I can say, you don't know who God gonna bless you with. And if they have a kid or kids, if you love that woman, you're gonna love her children as well. But I know most people won't do that. But there are some. That's why I say it's some men out here, women. It's some good men still out here. That man married his wife and raised little Terry all the way up to a grown man. Now Terry is following the footsteps. See, you never know when your life is going to end. Can somebody look at you as an example and say, he set his example before he got out of here? Big old wake, man. It was so packed in there, wouldn't even know where to sit. It looked like a concert was going on outside. I mean, cars were stacked back miles and miles and miles, all the way to the other end of the neighborhood. And like what this one brother said, he said, it's sad that I can't even really think of nothing bad to say about Chief. Because Chief was straight up. If Chief didn't like you, Chief would tell you. See, Chief was one of those, I like to call the unusual type of guy who was in his own little world because he was different from most men that I knew. But when it comes to telling the youngster, don't do this, don't do that, live this way, live that way, Chief did it. And his whole family was there, and they got a big family, y'all. And I always think about men because it reminds me of growing up back in the day. See, Terry grew up, and where we grew up at, there wasn't no fathers around. Papa JT was a father to others. Wasn't it, Papa? It wasn't too many fathers in his neighborhood. It was probably you and maybe two more people out of the whole neighborhood. The streets got the rest of them. And Papa said, I'd be damned if the streets was going to get either one of my boys. He took others in like they was his own son. Some of them didn't turn out right. See, it plays a big difference when you got a male figure in your life. Women, I hope y'all listening. I know a lot of y'all are raising them by yourself, and I know a lot of y'all think y'all can do it by yourself, but it was a reason why God designed husband and wife. So you can have that balance. It's a lot of unbalanced children growing up right now. And I just want to say I thank God for seeing that way because that touched my heart because we grew up in the hood. Everybody dead or locked up, or some still on the corner. And as to watch those tears fall from his son's eyes, he said, that's the only man I know is my daddy. And you got folks walking around there talking about, well, I ain't finna take care of another mistake. Children are not a mistake. They didn't ask to be here. None of us asked to be here, but we are here, so deal with it. I'm tired of people calling a child a mistake. When that child grew up, you don't know what that child gonna be. That is why you don't do abortion, people. That child might grow up to be the one to take care of you, but you'll never know because you done took them out. Good God Almighty. Children are a blessing, not a mistake. That man took in another child of his, took in a child as his own and raised them as his own, loved them. And what's crazy to me, they look just alike. And he always said, that's my boy. That's my boy. Terry said, I don't even know who my real dad is. A lot of men out there like that don't know who their dad is. Don't have a clue. Some of these women are being raped. They done been having trains ran on them, and they don't know who the daddy is for some of these children. And that's sad, people. That's sad. You can believe that if you don't, believe that or not, but that is what go on. Some of these men will be 4 men in the room done drugged a woman, and all of them done had sex with her. And now she done became pregnant, and somebody don't know, they don't know who the dad is. Out of 4 or 5 people, everybody taking turns on these women. I'm telling you, y'all best to be careful. What's going on, women? I always tell women, respect yourself. Because you're going to find out when you won't act like a hoe, you're going to get treated like a hoe. That man was a good man. Lord, rest his soul. And I find myself getting up speaking at funerals more and more because I just feel like I have to say something because I'm not going to see him for a while. Lord say the same. I want to see him again. So I have to get up and say something to encourage the family. Y'all know I love to talk anyway. So to the men that's looking at this video, and some of y'all are worried about what others say, I'm going to tell you like this. If God bless you with the one you're with, and you love her and her children, damn what everybody else got to say about it. You ain't going home answering to everybody else. If you going home to your woman, your wife, and the children, that's y'all business. Because the ones that's got a problem with it, Look at their life and see how they living. They ain't got no business trying to tell you what to do in the first place when they ain't got nothing going on in their life. If you love that woman and them children, and you want to make that woman your wife, make that woman your wife. God gonna bless y'all to the highest. So I hope this can help somebody. Excuse that phone, because I had a couple of questions in my email like this. That man gave a great example, whether he needed a DNA test or not. I love children like that also. Hey, man, it's sad that they don't have nobody telling them right from wrong, and the streets is telling them the right way. So I want to give a great shout out to the Estes family, and we know him as Chief, but his real name is Kenneth. We call him Kenneth Wayne, and he's going to be laid to rest in a couple of hours as I get ready to get out of here in a moment, in a little bit. And I just want to share this with the family. To the man who's taking care of another man's child, remember like this, they can come out good. You have done a great job, and God is so pleased. That's why God don't bless no mess. God blesses you when you do the right thing. There's too many children out here that need to be loved. So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. May God bless you, and may God keep you.